We don't have a better person to start us off than Jim Ramey. And Jim's located here at the Department of Ag. And for 46 years, he has done ag statistics. 46 years, is that correct? And he's going to give us an update of the latest statistics. So I'm going to turn it over to Jim.
Thank you, Director Zeringer. We'll just get started right away with the update from the crop progress report that was released on Monday afternoon. The report date was as of Sunday, May 22nd. At that point in Ohio, we had 11% of the corn crop planted. Normally by that date we would have 80% planted.
Mr. Ramey, can't hear you very
close. Corn emerged on that date was 2%. Normally 58% would be emerged. Soybeans planted 4%. That's 50 points behind the normal of 54%. Soybeans emerged 1%, normally 26%. Alfalfa hay first cutting, which is becoming a concern, 3% is complete. Normally we would have had 11%, and that's going to just get worse in the next few days and weeks. In the history of Ohio Crop Progress Report, planting of corn in Ohio has never been this far behind. It's 69 points behind the 5-year average and 76 points behind last year, which was really kind of a banner year for planting. The data from this report was collected on Friday, May 20th, and then it was normalized to the May 22nd date. That's the way we normally handle the data that we collect. Data are collected on the computer. Most of the reporters respond on their computers, so we get the data in a fairly short time frame when we collect it. We don't let them start until we want them to, and then we shut them off when we want it shut off. So not everybody that's on the list reports every week, but we had good response this last week. And we normally do when there are weather conditions that are affecting the crops. When I look back, our records go back to about 1960 for the crop progress in the plantings. And back in 1960, I don't know, some of you will remember that the cultural practices for planting corn were considerably different from now because they had to plow the ground first. And then they put the corn in, and as a result, in those times, corn planting was a little bit later than we normally expect today. But even this year, we're behind those dates. In other states, on May 22nd, our next closest one that is far behind was Pennsylvania. They were 34% behind normal. Remember, we were 69%. Our good friends to the west, Indiana, 27 points behind normal. Kentucky and Michigan were both 25% or points behind normal. Wisconsin, 19 points behind. Minnesota was 12. And Iowa was 4 points ahead of normal. Illinois was 5 points ahead of normal. Missouri, 6 points ahead of normal. In the U.S., we normally report 18 states. Those states accounted for 92% of the corn planted in the U.S. last year, and overall, when it's weighted by the acreage that was put in, we're nationally about 8 points behind normal. One of the questions I ask myself is how fast can planting progress if we could get started right away. Normally, the corn planting window is 10 to 15 weeks. That's when we see progress from beginning to end on corn planting, from 0% to 100%. The most progress that I was able to find in any 1 week, in any 1 year, was 47% planted in 1 week in Ohio. So that was kind of an anomaly, though. More normally, it would be 24 to 28% in 1 week. And so you would think, well, we can get the corn planted in 4 weeks. Well, that doesn't normally happen that way because I've never found any year where we had 2 weeks consecutively that had 20% or more. Normally, if we have more than 20% 1 week, we'll drop under 10% the next week. So we still are a ways away, and the farmers certainly are going to have to wait for their fields to dry out before they can even start.